Casper 1995, otherwise known for me as Casper 95. So, this movie's interesting. It's very, very interesting, and of course stars Christina Ricci from Addams Family fame, as well one of the characters in the film. Now, I can't really describe it as it's every stereotypical 90s action flick. You have basically the story, you have the villain that cares more about the money with his or her stereotypical idiotic sidekick, and then you have the three buffoons that clearly are named after different gross out stuff. That's typically what this is. Now, it doesn't feel like a Casper film as much as it feels like a 90s film, which it is. It's from 1995. But I have nothing really against this movie other than the fact it was heavily marketed. Like, the marketing was insane. Like, you cannot skip through the channels without having a Casper commercial on for the Casper movie. It was ridiculous, especially for Casper. Like, nowadays, not a lot of people know who Casper is at this point. Nobody knows this friendly ghost anymore. And I think it was because of this flick. Like I said, these villains are terrible. Again, you have one that cares about the money, and then you have the other one who's the clumsy ox. Now, is there any positives I have about this film? It's definitely the story. The story is that Casper, was trying to find who he really is, but he doesn't remember. So, they're finding clues in little parts inside this abandoned house so that he can remember who he once was as a boy. And then he can remember, his passing, and also who his father was. And then he also created an invention that basically gives eternal life, which, in my opinion, is a great story. I think that's a very great story. Now, it doesn't have to be goofy as well, in my opinion. It could be a little emotional, with a little bit of couple of laughs here and there. Also, that story about the wife dying too, it would have been nice if the ghost didn't, poke fun of it. But that's all I could say about it. There's just too many references, there's too many, idiotic things going on in the film, and oh man, it just barely makes any sense. And the ghost designs, other than Casper being incredibly accurate, the other ghost designs bother me. Even the ones who actually pass, like the father and the villain, look horrendous. They look hideous. And it's just not a very good film in my opinion. But if there's one thing I could say, it's definitely good for the kids. Now, it's definitely not going to be good for the adults. Adults can literally look at the story and that's it. But for the comedy and stuff, I think it's okay. It's okay for kids, and it's not too gross to be disgusting for kids. And it's definitely not too, funny for the kids. I think it's funny enough for the kids. But all I can say is Casper's just Casper. I don't know what's so popular. His marketing gone crazy. And for just what? He's a friendly ghost? He wasn't really that special even in Hanna-Barbera days. I don't think he was that special. I think it was just a forgotten character. A forgotten character over time. That was it. I don't really hate this film. I don't really hate Casper. I just hate the marketing. This marketing has just got to stop. But for a film, it's actually really, really good. So, coming up tomorrow, it's time to take a look at another family, but unlike the Addams family, they at least try to live somewhat of a normal life.